All right, so now we're going to talk about logarithmic functions or log functions. So what the heck is a log function? Well, basically, it's kind of like writing an exponent the same way in a different form. So it's kind of like if I said, oh, I had 1/2 of a dollar, I had 50 cents. You're saying the same thing. It's just written in a different way. So sometimes it's easier to deal with logs, and sometimes it's easier to deal with exponents. Well, we're going to see how we can take something written in log form and rewrite it as an exponent. And then we're also going to work backward and see how we can take something written as an exponent and rewrite it as log form. When we get into solving equations, we're going to want to be able to do both of these. So we call this the circle method or the swoop method. And so how I read number one is I read it as log base 2 of 64 equals 6. And so if I want to write that as an exponent, I start with my base, I raise my base to what it is equal to, so meaning I'm going to say 2 raised to the 6th power, and then I'm going to set it equal to whatever my term was, so equals 64. Now that is a true statement. If I plugged in my calculator, 2 to the 6th power, or 2 times 2 times 2, 6 times, I would get 64. And so this is a true statement. I took it from log form and wrote it in exponential form. So we call this the swoop method or the circle method because I start with my base and I swoop around and set it equal to that term, 64. In the same way, over here with number 2, I'm given the exponent. I think this is a little bit harder. That's why I wanted to do this first. I think this is easier. So you should practice this a few times. And then working backward gets a little bit easier. Now, what was it equal to, this 81? That's going to be your term. Log of something, log base something of 81 equals what? Well, my base here is also my base for my log. So because I had a base 3 raised to the 4th power, that base 3 now becomes the base of that log. And then 3 to the what power? Oh, 3 to the 4th. So this must be equal to 4. And how do I know if I did this right? Well, if I quickly do the swoop method, 3 to the 4th power equals 81. And that's what I started with. 3 to the 4th power equals 81. So what I do is going from exponential to log form, how I quickly can double check to see if I did it right, because I think this is so much easier, I will do the swoop method to quickly double check. Kind of like when you're just using the distributive property, factoring seems so much harder. And so how can you check to see if your factoring was correct? Well, you can distribute those back through to see if you get your original. So after a while, you'll get used to going from log form to exponential form. How do you know, though, going from exponential to log is correct? Well, when you're in log form, in your head, just quickly do the swoop exercise, I don't know, lost the word, to see if what you get is correct.